welcome to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpses of South Asia. I'm your host, Shivangi Mishra. Let's begin with the headlines first. Leaders from BRICS nations forged stronger ties at 15th Summit in South Africa. Yamaha motor in Japan contributing to clean and comfortable environment. And devotees in India and Nepal mark Nag Panchami. Let's begin the show with the 15th BRICS Summit, which was recently held in South Africa. The member nations pledged to work more closely together in a variety of fields, including sustainable development, monetary policy and trade and investment, amongst others. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi called on BRICS nations for joint efforts and collaboration in space, education and technology sector in order to make the diplomatic bloc a future-ready organization. Have a look. Executive heads of member nations and emerging economies from around the world gathered in Johannesburg City in South Africa for the 15th BRICS Summit. The BRICS Forum is an autonomous international organization that promotes collaboration between its member nations on issues of trade, politics and culture. Various agreements were signed post the meeting that sought to deepen partnerships among the member states. Apart from geopolitics, the group's focus includes economic cooperation and increasing multilateral trade and development. Addressing in the plenary session, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi emphasized undertaking reforms in the United Nations Security Council, World Trade Organization and multilateral financial institutions. He urged all participants to work together to realize the BRICS goal of prosperity for all.
Excellency, भारत ब्रिक्स की सदस्यता में विस्तार का पूरा समर्थन करता है और इसमें कॉन्सेंसस के साथ आगे बढ़ने का स्वागत करता है। 2016 में भारत की अध्यक्षता के दौरान हमने ब्रिक्स को बिल्डिंग रिस्पॉन्सिव, इंक्लूसिव एंड कलेक्टिव सॉल्यूशन से परिभाषित किया था। 7 साल बाद हम कह सकते हैं कि ब्रिक्स विल बी ब्रेकिंग बैरियर्स, revitalizing economies, inspiring innovation, creating opportunities, and shaping the future.
The summit turned out to be a particularly fruitful summit for India when PM Modi emphasized mission mode reforms as having improved the ease of doing business in India and invited business to be a part of the country's development path. Meanwhile, the BRICS group of nations has decided to invite 6 countries, Argentina, Egypt, Iran, Ethiopia, Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates, to become new members of the bloc. However, BRICS groups had publicly expressed support for growing the bloc. There had been divisions among the leaders about how much and how quickly. The group's members have economies that are vastly different in scale and governments that seem to have few foreign policy goals in common. Addressing the forum, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa railed against protectionism and unilateralism and called for a global trading system which is more focused on common development.
The new wave of protectionism and subsequent impact of unilateral measures that are incompatible with WTO rules undermine the global economic growth and development. We therefore need to reaffirm our position that economic growth must be underpinned by transparency, by inclusiveness. It must be compatible with a multilateral trading system that supports a developmental agenda.
On the sidelines of the BRICS summit, Modi met with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa to discuss the entire gamut of bilateral ties between India and South Africa. He congratulated PM Modi and Team ISRO for successful landing of Chandrayaan-3 on the surface of the moon. This year, PM Modi's third visit to South Africa and the trip marks the 30th anniversary of the diplomatic relationship between India and South Africa.
We now call upon Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. I asked him this morning whether the lunar module is still firmly on the ground on the moon, and he said yes. So yesterday we congratulated India for landing a lunar module on the moon. So maybe he'll be outlining the scientific aspects of how the lunar module is going to proceed forward.
BRICS is a grouping of the world economies of Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. This is the first in-person BRICS summit after 3 consecutive years of virtual meetings owing to the COVID pandemic. This year's BRICS is under the presidency of South Africa. The theme of this year's summit is BRICS and Africa, Partnership for Mutually Accelerated Growth, Sustainable Development and Inclusive Multilateralism. Moving on, India rejoiced as Chandrayaan-3 conquered the moon's south pole. The soft landing of Vikram landers was historic. ISRO's genius shined as it achieved yet another milestone with modest means. And now as India takes the lead in space with Chandrayaan-3 success, the country's space journey stands as a guiding light, transforming dreams into reality and resonating across the world.
Sir, we have achieved soft landing on the moon. India is on the moon.
India erupted in joy as Chandrayaan-3's triumph unfurled. Vikram lander's soft landing on the moon's uncharted south pole was a moment etched in history. The ISRO command station held its breath, then exhaled cheers of victory. From South Africa's BRICS summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually linked his presence to the celestial spectacle.
ये क्षण अभूतपूर्व है। ये क्षण विकसित भारत के शंखनाद का है। ये क्षण नए भारत के जयघोष का है।
India stood tall, an intrepid pioneer, the first nation to reach out and touch the untouched soil of moon's southern extremity. In a world of extravagant space endeavors, ISRO, the magicians of innovation, has orchestrated this feat on a shoestring budget at a mere $75 million. They have proven that the magic of determination and intellect can always achieve more than just capital.
The entire mission operations, right from launch till landing, happened flawlessly as per the timeline, and we became the 4th country to land to demonstrate the soft landing onto the moon surface, and we became the first country to go to near to the south pole of the moon.
Elon Musk, the luminary behind SpaceX, and leaders and scientists from every corner of the globe lauded India's cosmic accomplishment. The moon's unexplored southern pole holds the promise of new revelations. ISRO, India's space research organization, stated that investigating the moon's southern pole could reveal water and valuable scientific information.
We have gone closer to South Pole, which is 70 degrees almost. So the South Pole has a special advantage with respect to being less illuminated by the sun, and because of that there is a potential to have more scientific content in terms of retention of water below the subsurface, and also elemental composition and other activities, which is an electrical activity on surface of the moon, to be more dominant there than what it is there at the equator. So science people who are scientists who are working on moon has really shown a lot of interest on the South Pole, because ultimately human beings wants to go and create colonies on the moon and then travel beyond. So the best place is something that we are looking for. So South Pole has a potential to be that.
Chandrayaan-3's victory not only adorned the nation's achievements but also propelled it onto the global commercial stage. And now ISRO is showing no signs of slowing down. Mission Aditya, the solar mission, stands poised for a September debut. Crew modules and escape capability stands on the brink of demonstration too. The year 2025 can be the year India's maiden manned mission to space could become a reality.
Now we take a look at some happenings in Asia in a segment called Asia Watch.
UNESCO has teamed up with local authorities in Basra to renovate old houses known as Shaneshil in the Armenian neighborhood in the old city to preserve its historic identity. The initiative is part of efforts to boost tourism in the city and the country at large, as a small but growing number of tourists are heading to Iraq to see attractions spanning from vast desert and marshland ecosystems to ruins of the world's earliest cities and empires. The project aims to renovate a total of 11 Shaneshil houses in the area known for its Christian Armenian heritage, according to Director of Antiquities and Heritage of Basra, Mustafa Al-Husseini. There was an estimated number of nearly 25,000 Armenians in Iraq up until the US invasion of the country in 2003, mostly residing in Baghdad, Basra, Kirkuk and Mosul before they started to leave to Europe and other parts of the world, according to a report published by the Armenian General Benevolent Union in 2016. US and South Korean troops held training exercises in facilities designed to simulate densely populated urban environments as part of the annual Ulchi Freedom Shield drills. The joint exercises, which started, were designed to enhance and improve responses to North Korean missile or nuclear threats. The drills were also aimed at improving practical combat skills and enhancing the joint forces' ability to perform unified operations in urban areas, the South Korean army said. South Korea's military has said this year's exercises will be held on the large scale ever, involving tens of thousands of troops from both sides. Pyongyang has denounced the Allies' military drills as a rehearsal for nuclear war. Protesters staged a rally in central Seoul to demonstrate against Japan's plan to release treated radioactive water from the tsunami-wrecked Fukushima nuclear power plant in the ocean. Japan said on Tuesday it will start releasing into the sea more than 1 million metric tons of treated radioactive water from the wrecked Fukushima nuclear power plant on August 24, going ahead with a plan heavily criticized by China. South Korea said in a statement released Tuesday that it sees no problem with the scientific or technical aspects of the plan, but did not necessarily agree with or support it. The matter has required President Yoon Suk-yeol to strike a balance as he seeks better relations with Japan while risking consumer backlash at home.
Moving on to Japan, where famous company Yamaha Motors electric engine on boats that set to quality of life for passengers. The company's new EV engine promises not just a greener commute but a more comfortable one too. On the other side, the dancing Pokemon Pikachu event attracts locals and foreigners in Yokohama City. Have a look.
Yamaha Motors' policy is to preserve the environment and promote a comfortable social life. At Otaru Canal in Hokkaido, sightseeing boats were installed with Yamaha Motors' EV engine to provide comfort and satisfaction for passengers. This electric vehicle engine is named Harmo. It has an electric motor with smooth control system.
In Taiwan, it's not very. The boat is not very quiet, so I take Yamaha's boats. It feels very good and soft and comfortable.
Biodiesel engine and EV engines are only used on boats at Otaru Canal with an aim to protect environment. And this policy is matched with Yamaha Motors EV engine technology. The smooth operation of Harmo boats make the guest passengers satisfied and they witness the surroundings of the historical buildings.
全く音がしません。で、音がないってことはそれだけエネルギー効率がいいわけなんで、それとハルモシステムっていうのは本当硬くて船が真横にも動くし、いろんな移動ができる。皆さん本当にこれで動いてるのっていう反響が多いですね。
In 2016, Yamaha Motor began investigating and developing an EV boat operation system. Transforming of mobility is the most important policy for Yamaha Motor. Yamaha Motor's interests include drones, electric two-wheelers, bicycles, vehicle chairs, and marine transportation on land and beneath the surface of the ocean.
北米だったり、アジアのいろんな地域でも運河とか湖とか低速でかつ静寂性が求められるそういった運河などでの利用は非常にニーズがあるんではないかなというふうに考えております。低速で走るというところにはですね、電動化の船外機というのは非常にニーズがありますので、マリンの製品においてもですね、電動化を進めてより環境に優しい製品作り、モビリティの在り方というのを模索していきたいなというふうに考えております。
The core objective of Yamaha Motor is to create a serene and clean environment along the canal. Both the sky and the ground are the targets of this ambition. Pikachu dancing event was recently organized in Japan's Yokohama city. These adorable Pokemon Pikachus dance to draw crowds. Pikachu is the most popular and beloved cartoon character among children. This year, Pokemon World Championship was held, supported by Yokohama City. It includes Pokemon and Pikachu March, Pokemon Card Game, Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Unite to nominate World Championship. The World Championship was held in Japan this year after previously taking place in the United States and the United Kingdom. The Yokohama Museum nearby Pikachu danced attractively while marching. Many families and their kids were excited to meet the real Pikachu. A large number of visitors gathered at the event, including foreign tourists as well.
ピカチュウがすごくくるくる回ったり、こっち向いてこうやって手振ったりしてくれてすごい楽しかったです。ピカチュウって英語で書かれてるのがよくて、これ後ろ向くとそのピカチュウの全国ナンバーが書いてあるのがすごいポイントで、歩いてるとすごい一番気に歩けてすごい楽しいです。
During the event, Pokemon's special parade of 100 family characters was held. Many Pokemon fans gathered to take pictures and cheered on the street of Yokohama.
Came to watch Pikachu March. It was really cute. I'm really happy to see Pikachu.
I really enjoyed how energetic the Pikachu were in the march. Like they would turn around and go to the kids. That was really fun. I think it was a really cool event. I was happy I was here.
At night, many Pikachus attract the audience while performing the live show. The spectators prepared a smartphone to take a remembrance picture. In the night sky, Pokemon characters are visualized by drone mapping. Japan's summer is sometimes affected by typhoons with heavy rains. On this day, Pokemon Pikachu's power and the enthusiasm of the children defeated typhoon. It is a memorial event for every audience member.
Moving on. The Nag Panchami is a significant Hindu festival that was celebrated with great fervour and devotion across India and neighbouring Nepal. Observed in the month of Shravan, it is a day of traditional worship of snakes observed by Hindus, Jains and Buddhists. The rich tapestry of Indian culture and the significance of this festival in honouring the serpent, a symbol of power and protection. Have a look at how an auspicious occasion brings happiness and prosperity to all who celebrate it. Hindu devotees from all across India throng to various Shiva temples to mark the auspicious festival of Nag Panchami with prayers. Every year, during the holy month of Shravan, Nag Panchami is a day dedicated to snakes and is celebrated every year on the 5th day of the 4th night leading to the full moon. The most common religious belief is that on this specific day, Lord Krishna defeated Kaliya, the most poisonous snake, putting an end to the snake's reign of terror.
नाग देवता को जल चढ़ाते कि हमारी खेतों की रक्षा करते हैं और अनासा खरीदते हैं, तमाम तरीके का हम लोग फंक्शन मनाते हैं यहाँ से जो है.
Many devotees observe a fast throughout the day, and there is a general belief that feeding milk to snakes rids people of their problems. They also offered milk and flowers to the serpent god and Lord Shiva on the day of Nag Panchami.
नाग पंचमी के दिन ही बाबा के वहाँ पर दर्शन होते हैं और बाबा महाकाल की कृपा से उन समस्त भक्तों के सर्व मनोरथ और सर्व कष्ट और सर्व संकट और सर्व काल दोष के निवारण के लिए दर्शन मात्र से ही कार्यों की सिद्धि होती है.
In Nepal too, Nag Panchami is celebrated with great devotion. Scores of devotees visited the famous Nag Pokhari pond in capital Kathmandu to appease snakes and the Lord Shiva with special offerings of milk, fruits, dubo grass, flowers and red vermilion powder. The sacred pond next to the former royal palace in the heart of the capital bears the brass idol of the serpent deity, who is worshipped by thousands of devotees praying for protection and calmness to avert any catastrophes. Devotees hold a religious belief that hanging a picture of a serpent in the house will avoid harm from snakes and scorpions, as well as from incidents of fire and lightning. Special offerings of dubo grass, flour and rice grains mixed with red vermilion powder are offered, along with milk, milk-based sweets and fruits are also offered.
यहाँ चाहिँ पहिलेदेखि अब चलिरहेको हो हैन. त्यही भएर म वर्षै नै आइरहेको छु यहाँ आएर नागको पूजा गर्ने. पहिला चाहिँ बोटिङ पनि थियो, यसपालि रहेनछ. अरु त त्यही हो.
Nag Panchami is also regarded as a festival to strengthen the bond between humans and nature. Moreover, farmers are also advised to avoid plugging or digging the earth on this auspicious occasion, as it could harm and anger the snakes which reside underneath. It's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We'll be back next week at the same time. This is Shivangi Mishra signing off on the behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.